mask is upside down. That would be fun.
No comment.
Nobody will tell me.
I guess, well, obviously I will.
Yeah. On TV.
On my TV. Need a motion to go to open session?
So moved.
Moved and select. Second. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
4 ayes, 1 absent. Tie is 7-4. A recording of this meeting is being made and shall be kept for 30 days as public record. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Go back to James, Judy.
I will. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Roll call. I am here. Lynn Millett is here. Sandy Heffernan is absent. Jim Bedford is here. Billy Moore is here. And our student representative is absent. Need a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Bender, seconded by Millett. And before we go any further, there is a correction on personnel that needs to be corrected on that paper. That's a hire, that is resigned. And then that's going to be corrected. Okay, all in favor with the correction?
Aye.
All ayes, so that's it. Reports. RTA is not here. That's amazing. CSCA. Sure.
Did we just stand? Well, hello, everyone. Good to see most of you. So good evening, school board members, Superintendent Gaines, other Southern Kern Unified employees, and members of the public. My name is Keith Argus, and I am the lead custodian at Roseland High School and the new CSCA Chapter 587 president. I wanted to make a moment to take a moment to introduce you to our new e-board members. Of course, Fallon is the only one here at this time, so she is our new vice president. Mary Klukskowski is our new chief job steward. Jessica Azevedo is our reporter, and Lori Lytle is our treasurer. We have a vacancy as well, which we're going to try to fill. And then for our chief job steward, I'd actually like to get more members to become actual job stewards, so that she'll have some other people underneath her, things like that. Make it work a little bit more smoother for her and everyone else. So, if we get those names, we'll obviously update you all on this. We are looking forward to holding our union meetings in person once again, with our first meeting of the year being held on Thursday, January 27th at West Park Elementary in the library from 3 to 5. And all CSCA members are welcome to attend, and we are looking forward to seeing everyone. I will be working closely with Superintendent Gaines to ensure that all our classified employees are well taken care of. And the e-board is here to ensure, to answer any questions that anyone may have. So please contact or reach out to any of us or our e-board members if any needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Student board member. West Park Elementary School report and meeting of Math Academy. No?
That is
Sandy?
That's
Cancel?
I guess I
Okay. It is that. CBO report. Mr. Murphy.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Hope everybody had a safe and happy winter break. So, want to go over a couple of things that have happened during the break and are ongoing and all of that. On December 22nd, the governor announced that rapid tests were to be delivered to schools with the intent to have people tested before they return. Given the schedule we had, we were able to get our test January 4th with distribution starting on the 5th, so that a few days prior to kids returning, with the help of Leslie and the ladies in the services department, we were able to get rapid tests distributed out to those who came to the DO to pick up. We still have a couple boxes of tests that we're continuing as, people come in and ask for them, distribute. So, yay for that. Also, speaking of a rapid test, with the new guidance from CDPH on return to work from quarantine and all of that, we are exploring an option through Color that currently is the platform we use for our staff and student PCR testing to include rapid antigen with that. So we're hoping that we can start the onboarding process to get that going rather quickly, so that it's another option available other than just the nasal swab and send off to the lab and get results, hopefully within 24 to 48 hours. Sticking with COVID and everything else, the district received a back order of N95 masks that we ordered several months ago. Finally came in last Friday. As of this morning, all of the school sites have N95s on their campus for staff. If they want to wear those, it's another option in addition to the pre-fold surgical mask, cloth mask, etc. So, let's see what else happened during the break. The governor released his budget for a preliminary look at the 22-23 budget on January 10th. Tomorrow and Friday, I'll have get more in-depth information through a county office and through a workshop, specifically focused on schools, but highlights include state revenues forecast are still trending positively. As for what that means for schools, it looks like the plan at this point is programs, expanded funding for after-school programs, early literacy, green transportation, and possible changes to the way that LCFF is calculated. So it's all preliminary at this point. Final details will be known in May and July, typically with the May revision, and then typically into June, start of July, the actual budget gets signed, so we can, really know what's about to happen a couple days after it starts. And that is it for me.
Thank you.
Robert, I was reading a little bit of something in some of the emails I get about the state was talking a little bit about postponing some building funds. Did you hear anything about that?
No, I've seen that the state early part of for state facilities is looking at using Prop 98 to fund some of the school facilities bond money, so that if there's a revenue surplus, at least they can apply it to school facilities, which would be helpful.
Any more questions? Assistant Superintendent, Instruction and Curriculum, Lacey.
Good evening, everyone. I have been working closely with the school site principals on their single plan for student achievement, with each one of them reviewed their plans with them, gave them some possible revisions and suggestions. And so they're working on those and supposed to have those ready for us pretty quickly so that we can bring them to you for first reading on February 2nd. So those are moving right along. I went and did my normal monthly site visits at all school sites except for Roseland High School. Talked about their leadership teams and the things that they're working on, how their PLCs are going, all of the pertinent information for their school sites, and we just chat about the things that are going on so I can a good update on how their schools are functioning. Had great meetings with all school sites this month. Didn't get to do my normal classroom walkthroughs because I'm still healing a little bit from a surgery. But hopefully this next month I'll be able to go out and visit classrooms again. Let's see what else. Tomorrow will be our we're revamping our MTSS training and getting that started all over again. That's multi-tier systems of support to help our school sites with providing intervention needed for students in the different tier supports. So that starts tomorrow. Got all the materials ready to go. We'll be having it over at Roseland Elementary School. We have about 35 people coming. So we just want to make sure we have enough space. So that's when we'll be having that. Our Success for All training for our K-2 teachers on the intervention program that will be used in their UA classroom. That training is going to happen next week on the 27th. We're going to be doing RES. And then on the 28th, we're going to do West Park. So we changed it up a little bit. At first, they wanted us to do on keep switching school both days, but it looks like we'll be able to do one school each day instead. So they get all the training they need to start that Success for All groups going as soon as we get done with the training. I've also been working on getting things ready for registering our teachers and administration for the Avid Summer Institute. So sent out surveys, got lots of interest. We have enough funds to send about 70 teachers and all of our site admin if they would like to go, as well as some of the district office administrators. And so just pushing that and hoping we can get about 70 people and let each school site know how many they could each send. So we're out there pushing that as much as we can so we can send as many people as we can. We're going to go to the first session in San Diego, which is at the end of June, and I get to start registering everybody on February 8th. And we want to get that done as quickly as possible so we get everybody in for what they want. And also working on the PD for the end of July, beginning of August, getting that all set up. We got some great things happening, and I'm really, we have Doug Fisher and Nancy Fry coming on the 8th, as well as an amazing high school secondary math person coming on February 8th to work with our secondary people, and also working on a few things for the week before. We have Chance coming out to do some training on classroom management, which is an amazing program, so that's very exciting. So that'll be for our new teachers and then any other teacher that would like to come to that training as well, and some additional things that I haven't got quite finalized, but I'm still working on it. So we'll have a really amazing schedule this coming summer for our teachers and staff. We're also working on some trainings for classified staff members as well. And so we'll have it's just going to be phenomenal. So I'm really excited about all the things we're being able to set up for training for our staff members. And I'm doing that.
Associate Superintendent Hargis.
Good evening. HR continues. We're very busy. We are always seeking out new substitute teachers. So we do have another sub on to approve tonight on the agenda. Have had a couple of others call and show interest. So they're going to be coming in probably next week to fill out the paperwork process. So hopefully at our next board meeting, we'll have a few more to approve. So that's very exciting. Our classified, we are also looking to increase our subpools for classified. We did some testing last Thursday, and we had 11 folks come in and do some testing. And so the ladies in my office brought everybody in got all the paperwork completed, got the fingerprints done. So we do have some openings, and we're going to be doing some interviews both tomorrow and on Monday for custodial, paraeducator, and CSO. And so that way, anybody that's chosen for a position will be ready to go because they'll already have all that stuff done. Everybody else, we have invited to become part of our sub pool. So I'm excited about that. Our first meeting of the calendar committee is going to be on February 2nd. So I have contacted the associations and asked for them to choose some people that will be part of that. So hopefully we'll get those, and then we have our board subcommittee members that will be inviting as well, and hopefully we'll have a calendar ready to go at the latest, the first meeting in March is the goal.
The calendar committee. There for a while, we were actually doing actual calendar for the following year, and currently the second year along with it. So that way, when the committee meets the following year, it's just a touch up on the second, which would be at that point the first year, and then the prep for the following. That way, we're always a year in advance.
Sure, and usually it does go pretty quick. We usually put together 4 possibility of calendars. Usually we can whittle it down to 2 at the first meeting, and then go from there. Kind of go through some of our criteria as to, in our classified contract, they have to Friday off. They have minimum days before some of our vacations. So, I let everybody know, okay, this is the parameters for our calendar. So we do come up to agreement pretty well, pretty quick. So I think at the very latest, we'll have something the first meeting in March.
That's just kind of a suggestion for
Yeah, absolutely.
prior years.
Superintendent Gaines.
Okay, thank you. I too want to welcome everyone here joining us live this evening, and also our parents and community members who are watching from home. I want to take this opportunity to thank our parents and all of our staff. Who would have thought that almost 2 years later, we would still be talking or even thinking COVID, but here we are. And as we travel through this very intricate and rapidly changing day-to-day COVID environment, I know it has not been easy on our staff members, our parents, and especially our students. So I just want to say that I really appreciate the patience, and I know that there are a lot of times people's patience are running very, very thin. We have a COVID team for both the staff and also for our students. And I want to thank, I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but I want to thank some of the members on those COVID teams, Paul Irving, Cammie Davies, and Yesenia Diaz. You can just imagine they have their regular jobs, and yet they still answer and contact trace and do all the things that they have to do as the COVID team. So they work from the time they get here till sometimes beyond when they should already be home. So I want to thank them. They work very hard to provide purposeful and informative information daily to help keep our district and staff members safe. So we don't thank them enough. I also want to thank Hernando and Fran Marroquin, who own the McDonald's here. They own 30 some McDonald's, but they own this one as well. They made a donation to Southern Kern Unified School District of $2,000 for us to spend as Robert probably sees fit. He's the one who keeps the checkbook and got the check. So, but anyway, that was very generous of them. So Hernando and Fran, thank you so much. We very much appreciate that. And I also, every time our cadet corps goes someplace to compete, they just win. And I cannot sit here and not acknowledge their work. The following cadets, bear with me, the following cadets competed in the Cadet Corps State Individual Major Awards at Camp San Luis Obispo for the top cadets in the state. Cadet First Class Michaela Lopez, Cadet First Class Jacob Powell, Cadet Sergeant Ryan Melchers, and Cadet Sergeant Ezra Rodriguez. Cadets had to compete a speech presentation, interview with the IMA board, uniform inspection, military drill, land navigation, and physical training test. The cadets worked several days during winter break to prepare. CFC Jacob Powell won first place for the senior first year cadet division. CFC Michaela Lopez won third place for the senior first year cadet division. Captain C/Sergeant Melchers and, is that Corporal?
Yeah. And
Corporal Sergeant Rodriguez.
S/Sergeant is Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant, thank you. And C/Sergeant Rodriguez did not place, but competed against a very tough division of upperclassmen and military school cadets. This is the third year in a row Roseman High School had a top cadet in the state and third place as well. Cadet Captain Kaya Queller, Cadet Second Lieutenant Hayden Catherine, and Hilardo Corona went as headquarters support staff. Cadets are now preparing for major events in February and March and competition in April. We are very proud of all the cadets and their commitment and motivation. And I just want to say kudos to Captain Wallace and this entire cadet team, because they're always winning and getting awards, and I'm just so honored and thrilled to be able to talk about them at this meeting. So great job, cadets. All right, so now I will give the attendance awards for the month of December. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll wait a second on those awards. Just 1 second, please. I just want you all to know that I don't pick favorites, that Dan actually, so you're wondering. So Dan's my favorite. Oh, sure, he's one of my favorites, many of them.
Right here.
Well, I walked right into that one, didn't I? But Dan provides me the data every month, so I do go by the data, and I keep all the data. All right, so elementary. West Park Elementary. Hang it back up.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations. All right. Secondary school. Best attendance in December goes to Roseman High School.
We got our ice cream today from my breakfast.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You and Tropico are just like really competing here. This is awesome. Now just have to go back and figure it out. Congratulations. And most improved this month with an improvement of 2.82% attendance goes to Roseman High School. Get the high boat. And I'll tell you the same thing I tell Dr. Bolton every month, not outside. Okay, usually outside. Thank you. Okay. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the new Hargis, elected president of CSEA. In fact, can use pointers.
Okay.
So there's an overview, large view, floor. So whichever one you want to start.
Let's try it. You gotta click on it.
No. And then you can, in, zoom out.
That's why we bought them screens for you.
Yeah,
Open it up.
Okay.
We need to-
Can't stay.
Okay.
I'm right.
Your high school. This is your gymnasium. It's gonna be right in this area here. And the reason we picked that area is we kept looking for where to put it and space. Also, we were looking at, the infrastructure. We have leach lines in different areas that would be real expensive to excavate up and then have to, and to get water and sewer and everything to that area. So this is our initial plan because of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it. Awesome. There. It's right here, right behind the gym. And I've got some other slides that will get back. Come on. Okay, Dan, what am I doing wrong?
Do you want to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
And if you just use your thumb and index finger, to zoom in and out,
Okay.
just use your index finger.
Okay, this will be the main part of the cafeteria. This right here is gonna be a shade structure. So you'll have shaded area outside, there will be tables set up out here. The initial plan that we've got will be for
Like I want to say 436.
430 inside the cafeteria, and then another 150 outside. And then this area here will be maintenance area for the dumpsters, the drop-off and deliveries. All that will be up in here. This is the main entrance, and then these three sections will be. Let me get to the other slide, because the other slide has what?
you'll see, you'll just tap. Just one tap, and then you'll see the arrow. There's the arrow.
I'm gonna get there. This is the layout that we're preliminary. Your main seating area, or they call it the cafe here. This will be a serving area with, the kids will come in here, pick up their stuff. The cashier that scans everything will be, whoa,
Magic.
come on.
Mario says it's all magic.
It is. Just get close to it and it does it. They'll come back out here. You'll have restrooms here and here. This area right here, it will actually be set up for custodial equipment and everything. So they've got your guys' area there. Right here, we're going to put a snack bar window. So if you've got a game going and you want to set up a snack bar on this side of the field, you have it right there.
The visitor side.
For the visitor side.
Oh, okay.
And then on this side, you'll also have a snack window for during baseball season. If they want to walk over and do something at the cafeteria, they can pick up right here and then use the seating out here. The kitchen area will be all this area here. It'll have 2 offices. And then you got your refrigerators, freezers, all this stuff back here, the delivery area here. And these will be the shaded area. We're still working on figuring what we're going to do for landscaping, whether it's going to be grass or,
I said all cactuses.
okay.
They're the only thing that'll survive.
Well, we're also thinking about turf,
Sure. Oh, okay.
to kind of, make it look like something, not just asphalt. And then we're still working with the architects about the entrance area here, whether it's going to be 1 door or 2 doors, but we definitely wanted to do a wind structure because you know how it is out here where we get all the wind. This area right here, we went to San Diego and looked at some schools that had some very interesting cafeterias. And we saw one that we kind of fell in love with. It has glass roll-up doors.
Yes.
Oh, it is just,
Yeah.
so basically it would be like this whole side of the building here would be, looks like a garage door with solid glass. And yeah, they're panels.
Yeah.
And then during the spring and summer when we got nice days, you roll them up. And then the kids can just use this whole area, indoor, outdoor eating.
Maria, would you explain to them how the kids can go in and then they split and can sort of go on one side or the other, the line, when they get...
Right in here where they come in and get their serving, the cafeteria we saw had these big screens and it just has all the menus on them. And they come in and it's almost like a salad bar type of setup where they come in and then they just pick up what they want to eat.
There's 2 sides, they can go left or they can go right.
Yeah. And again, this is a very preliminary drawing that we've been working on.
Just had a question on the windows. Is there an overhang over those windows?
These here?
Yeah, the big roll-up window that you're
Oh,
saying right there.
there's an overhang from there all the way to
Okay,
here.
that's what because of the structure. Okay, that's not.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it just to be,
Well, the sun.
the sun would bake everybody if it wasn't. Yeah. So it would actually come out to a covered area, and it's a pretty good sized covered area that we're looking at, so.
And the tables are permanent there.
Yeah.
On the outside.
What about the CTE kitchen you said we have?
The what?
The CTE kitchen? The
For your
CTE
technical
kitchen?
kitchen.
For the culinary arts.
For culinary, arts, sorry.
We're running out of money. The original kitchen that we had originally designed for the high school with the CTE kitchen and everything was gonna be almost $10 million. Our budget for this is about $5 million. So, downsize.
Like, can we, like, for the future, can we think about a plan that we have at least the infrastructure underneath for it? Or,
Well,
I mean, not, you understand what I?
yeah, no, I know. You're talking about getting it all set up to, if we added it over here, it's all ready to go.
Yeah,
Uh,
planning for the future, maybe?
We are looking in, again, and the biggest reason I'm doing all the, showing everybody what we've got going is, tonight we have to approve the architects, saying they can continue working. Because so far they've been generous enough to allow us to do a lot of talking with them rather than, spending a bunch of money with them. And, now it's time to sign the contract, let's get going. And then we're really gonna finalize the actual plan. This is basically a very, quick drawing that we drew up. But we've thought about, also for the CTE, we will have a cafeteria still in place.
Yeah, we have to.
I know it has to be refurbished, but that may be cheaper than trying to build another one. Because it's amazing what it costs through DSA and all the construction costs to build something like this. It is, Mr. Bender has had sticker shock for the last 6 months.
Mario, can you explain to them that that kitchen is incredible?
I bet.
It's state of the art. It's the best school cafeteria kitchen I've ever seen. They can put things from the actual.
This area right here, it does that every day. There's the warmers and the chillers where they have the products that are being ready. So as soon as you have a lag in here, you can reach up and grab it. You can feed these from the backside because the kitchen's back here. And then the people working in front can just open the doors and take it out. So it's got doors on both sides.
Instead of like now, they're hauling it from.
Yeah, they're hauling it from the back, walking it all the way to the front. And, it's just efficiency. And we still want to get the staff over at the high school that works the kitchen to help us set up for how they want the kitchen laid out.
What's the best time?
Well, what's going to work for them? Because the one that we saw over there, they had the cooking ranges and all the big stuff here and left this pretty much as a walk area. And this area back here was also for washing and cleaning. And then this area here was all prep to put everything inside the chillers and all that kind of stuff. And then you got 2 offices.
I didn't really see that, but those double doors right there on the side,
What's that?
at the very top, it looks like those are double doors.
Here?
Yeah, is that where the shipments and all that are gonna come through?
Right. For the trash cans, these are all the trash bins that they can come in here, and these are the big doors so they can bring the products in.
How is access to bring in the deliveries and stuff like that?
It'll be coming in from the back, from the, through the maintenance yard, and then coming in through, behind the tennis courts. And that's another thing that we're still working on with our CSD on which route that we have to take to hook up water, sewer, and all that stuff. So that's still in the process. But I just thought it'd be nice to give you guys a preview of what our plan is.
Mario, would you explain the artwork that's gonna go on the west side?
Oh, yeah, this side's we're gonna have a big flat area of building. And we were thinking that it'd be nice to put, some artwork up there, the home of the road runners. and maybe have a contest with the high school kids on what do they want to call it? Not just the cafeteria. Maybe, you know, the Roadrunner's Nest, I don't know, something.
The roost.
The Roost. You know, just something cool. And then we can, when they get to where they're painting the building, we can have it all painted on there. And I think that was it. Anything else? Or I noticed?
No, I think I pretty much covered it all. It's, that'd be really nice.
So the covered part, as you said, is towards the,
It'll be on the east
tennis
side.
court, right?
Yeah, towards the gym. The gym's down here.
Uh-huh.
The tennis courts are
Oh,
over here.
right there, yeah. Okay, good.
And the reason for that is the wind always comes in from the west.
Right.
And sometimes wind is west and south. So there will be a little bit of a wall right here that we're going to put in with some planters and stuff. Because of the wind, we don't want it just to come in and swirl. There will be a cement wall here. So anytime we get some of the north winds that come in off the Tehachapi's that are nice and cool, will be also blocked. And then they'll still have all this area. Yes.
The cafeteria table is integrated into the main room of the cafeteria, like other schools, like West Park.
No.
No? So that's gonna
We
be.
are not going to do any of the fold-ups. Everything we looked at,
As like a Starbucks. Like when you walk into Starbucks, the table's always there, there's not move. That's the way the architect explained it in San
Right.
Diego. That's the
we still are working on which tables and chairs we're going to use. On the outside, more than likely there'll
I
be,
just was curious.
yeah, no,
Cost or anything.
we found that the fold-up tables, a lot of maintenance, they break a lot. Also, can cause damage to the safety. So we decided, and the round tables look the best. They can seat 10 people or more if kids want to really jam up together. And it's just more inviting. And outside, there'll probably be something similar to like a picnic table. You know how they have the arched seating around the table? And then those will be bolted in place so they can't out the bottom. So that's also stuff that we can.
Are they outside going to be concrete?
Out here,
Outside?
this will all be concrete, all the way out to.
No, the table,
We haven't decided on the type of furniture that we're going to put in there. So that is something that we would like to get input from you guys. When we get to that point, again, right now we've got to do the contract for the architects.
yeah, I know, but I think we're thinking good for your head about, you know, I was gonna say don't paint them, because I think those.
Yeah, we have issues with, yeah.
With paint.
Well, the ones outside at the high school, they had a nice sheen to, like a gloss paint on when they first were done. And then some, I think a club, I think it was ASB a few years ago, decided they wanted to paint them, give them a nice new paint job, which is great, but the paint wasn't the right kind, and now every time you try to wipe it off, it just comes
Comes
off.
off,
and
yeah.
It doesn't really come very clean all the time.
More than likely,
Is what we have to do.
they need to be a gel coat.
Right.
Where the paint color is actually in the clear of the, when it's poured, if it's like a fiberglass table. Or we also saw some that were steel plastic coating.
That's the other stuff that we have, the picnic stuff.
Oh, right.
So all of our schools have them, all of the picnic tables are metal with the plastic.
The plastic coating.
over it. Yeah, it protects it from the
Right. So, yeah, that's all again, down the line.
Sorry, we're just kind of.
I know, you're way up there. We thought about all that too, but we need to get the structure built. And as we go along, we will need input, and we will call you to get that input. We've been doing a lot of meetings, trying to get this done. Tropico, middle school's 28 classrooms. And we're almost finished with RES. So they're getting there. It's looking good. I mean, it's just, so anyways.
All right, you said how many students would be able to be in there?
Inside, we're looking at just over 400.
And
That's seated inside, and they won't be crowded. You have to have a certain amount of space per child, and I forget what he quoted us that it has to be, but there's a calculation for that. And then out here, it should be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 150 to 160 students. And when you open up those doors, it'll just be so nice to just have kind of a.
with the doors, with the patio area, is that 400 including the patio area?
No.
Or that a patio area that?
It's extra. When we sat down with the architect, we told them we had to have a minimum of 500 to 600 students at one seating, either inside or outside. It didn't matter, but we needed that kind of space. Right now, we've got 930 kids on it?
No, 800.
800. Oh, we've got. Still, a couple of years ago, we had 938 kids in there. And even if you break it up into two lunches, you've got 400 plus kids in one area. At least this way, they have an area to go sit and go do whatever they want to do. This out here, once it's landscape, they can actually go have a picnic there during lunch. So,
Where was all this one?
what's that?
Where was all this when I was there?
$5 million later. Well, that's just the building. We still have infrastructure to work with. So there'll be, by the time we get done, I would say we're going to be into this over $7 million.
And trust me, wind, shade, all that is a big part of the conversation.
Yeah. Like I said, we actually went down to San Diego and looked at schools that had really nice cafeterias. One of them was really neat and had these really interesting shade structures. I looked at those like, yeah, that won't last long out here. The way the wind is and everything, they would not live. But their cafeteria, the serving area, the kitchen area, really state-of-the-art type stuff.
The
So
ladies and the gentlemen will love it. That's where they're coming from right now. Oh my goodness.
I just want to say that this school, where we is called Cte 39, I believe.
yeah,
It has won many national awards for its design. It's
I mean, it was like upstairs,
Incredible.
now it's there.
incredible.
Wow.
it was a private school too.
And their cafeteria seated, it said 850 students.
I'm very glad.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Winslet, we have voting.
Okay. Barbara, this is something for most of you and for someone. It was brought to my attention that through one of the mechanics that apparently some people got into the maintenance yard again, the buses, and he had, was it 2 or 3 buses that were needed repair because of what it is, or what happened. I've heard in the past, we've also had problems with people stealing catalytic converters. So my questions are this: do we have security cameras for the transportation maintenance yard?
So, Mr. Vincelette, if you do not mind, I'm gonna allow ask Mr. Urban to answer, because I believe he either has resolved this or is in the process.
Okay. So yeah, we're in the process. Currently, the buildings are alarmed and that it's good over there.
Okay.
So last week, Raleigh, Sean from IT, Scott, and Desiree from Transportation all took a tour of the yard over there and talked with the vendor that's putting together a quote of what do we need, where do we need things, all of that, so that, you know, the issues that happen that we want to break be addressed once and for all, and not, you know,
Okay.
we, you know, leave for break and then come back, you know, a
Yeah.
week later, fingers crossed, hope everything's okay, and then get there, and then, you know, obviously not.
Okay. And I appreciate knowing that now, but, you know, that's what I was concerned about. One thing we probably could do now, even though we don't have it, is get some signs put around here under video surveillance and put them around, the outside of the fence. That would be a good start, just a suggestion on my part. But, yeah, the transportation is key to a lot of things, including our athletics. And, it doesn't do any good when we've got, buses that are on service. And I just found out, the other day because, my son had his catalytic converter stolen. They're looking at 2 months before they can get one. And this is a Toyota. So if we've got that kind of a problem, how long would our vehicles be out of maintenance? So we could try to at least start getting some form of surveillance to hopefully start identifying these kids. Because a lot of them now are not even hitting houses with the rings because you can see them. So that's why I wanted to bring that up, because that concerned me when they mentioned this, is that this guy is kind of perplexed that they're spending more time fixing things that kids or somebody has been breaking. So that's why I wanted to bring that up tonight, because to me, and I think the rest of the board, that would be a major concern.
Yeah.
We need to get it taken care of as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I really have.
Thank you, Mr.
Sure,
Vincelette.
thanks.
Board member communication, cool.
I got it. Just thank you for showing up.
Jim?
Just some of the pictures I've seen of the cafeteria, this is gonna be really nice for our school. We're gonna have to give our whole school a facelift to come up to a little close to this cafeteria now. So I think when we first build it, it's gonna look a little out of place. So we're gonna have to step it up and fix up the high school a little bit too. And I'm excited about it. Cafeterias are a lot of money. Working in the kitchen, everything, a bunch of money. So we gotta be careful and make sure we're in budget on that. And just thank everybody for coming out. It's always nice when we have people here to talk to. Thank you.
I can, just a couple of things. I want to thank everybody for showing up, and for those who are watching what's going on. Over the last month and a half, I've been working with a couple of folks. One of them was, a lot of you may know, may not know him, a coach, Jim Vondra from Quartz Hill, is no longer there. The goal is to increase our presence in athletics. And one of the things that we are approving tonight is an athletic administrator, so that we can start moving on to get our athletic programs moving up. And I always still remember, it's student athletes, and that's always the way we have to look at this. But we do definitely need to get good coaches, we need to get a good athletic. In this case, it will be an administrator, and I think we're on the right track. At least in talking with Elisa and I, and Leanne, we're getting the right job descriptions out there to ensure that we are going to get the best coaches. Other than that, Mario, it's back to you.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. It's nice to have an audience instead of just the TV that watches us. And I want to thank everybody for allowing me at the last meeting to chimed in on Zoom because I was in the middle of a class that I had to finish up that night. So I was doing two computers at the same time. Dan, you would have been proud.
I already am proud of you, Marty. You did great.
Thank you. And with that, we do have comment from the public. Members of the public may address the board on any topic within the jurisdiction of the board by submitting a presentation request to the secretary or an email. Members of the public are strongly urged not to mention personnel by name and are reminded that they do not have immunity from legal action if personnel are named. The board may limit the speaker to 3 minutes with a total of 20 minutes per topic.
Right. I guess I'm coming as a member of the public and then also as a as a teacher in the district. It is frustrating to, because I do watch the board meetings at home. It is frustrating to watch you guys, and I've addressed you all about this before in a letter, to watch you guys with your masks. It's frustrating because I'm forced to, and I know that they're not fun, but it's something that we have to do to cause safety. I have to wear one all day for 6 hours, and I have to teach. So I'm projecting my voice, and so I understand it's frustrating. I get it, but we're also, you guys are representing us and the district. And when you have your mask down, you're showing the public that you don't care about the mask. And I know that you, whatever your feeling is on the mask right now, we're supposed to be wearing. So that's my frustration. And also another frustration is, and I don't know what the solution is to this, but we're concerned about we're swinging topics. We're concerned about learning loss, and I get it. But when you have 10 teachers out from a campus and we don't have the subs, I'm not sure how much learning is happening when you have 2 classes in one. And that's a safety issue too, because now you say, my class is at 30, now we have 60 kids in a class that is probably not meant to hold 60 kids. And we're also talking about I'm like this. If there's 60 people, there's no.
I didn't see that.
I should have warned them. So there's that's a safety issue in itself, especially when our numbers are rising, with the COVID numbers are rising. So I don't know what the solution is, but maybe we need to be looking at something. I don't know what. So.
We are constantly looking for solutions.
Right, yes.
Not always the best.
No.
But we are always looking.
Right. And I mean, and I'm going to say shout out to, I know that the principals are doing as much as they can. The teachers are doing, the support staff is doing what they need to do. It's just, I don't know, maybe we need to be starting to think outside the box. And Acronini thought outside the box when she took her kids to soccer, which is amazing. But I don't know what to do. And I'm sure you guys are at the same point. It's as a teacher, it's scary. And because I think about my kids' families. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my family. I'm thinking about me. I'm not only, it's scary being out there with, when I'm saying, hey, to the kids, let's put up our masks. I know, and then they probably aren't watching, but if they happen to go onto YouTube and it pops up and they see you guys with your mask, I switched again, sorry. The mask, so. Okay, so I appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you for letting me.
You're welcome. Consent items A through Q. And in case anybody didn't, you look through their contract for approval and the duty is in there.
Yes.
And their total will be $363,000. Yeah, just limits what it is.
I do have something, and I'm gonna keep bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing it up, because it just isn't right, and you cannot tell me you're getting them cheaper. We're buying some wheelbarrows from Lowe's when we have a hardware store in town here that sells one. I went looking for a wheelbarrow a couple months ago, and the cheapest place I found was Carl's Hardware. And I came back from everywhere else and bought mine at Carl's Hardware. I can't imagine we're gonna send somebody to Lancaster to buy 6 wheelbarrows, or how many it is, and it's gonna be cheaper than just running down the street and picking them up at Carl's Hardware. I'm gonna keep bringing that up to you, Robert.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, doesn't Derek match prices?
He'll match the price, yeah, you just gotta ask him. He'll do the very best he can. But, like I said, I went shopping for one just a few months ago, and I ended up buying one there. It's a local business, it's in our town, we should be supporting them for stuff like that. I understand if we're doing a big building job or something, and we have to go get some lumber or something big, I understand that, but to go into Lowe's and send somebody to go pick up some wheelbarrows for $941.
Well, yeah, let's see.
I don't know what they are, $70 a piece, that's a few wheelbarrows. I don't know if this has been already purchased or what, but
It is, already,
if it is, then why are we approving it? What good is it be approving it if it's already got, because I would not approve that. So mine is, I approve everything except for item 220545.
that was the
Wheelbarrows at Lowe's.
The item C, we will pull item C, and we'll go from A through Q minus C. Do I have a motion? Also move. Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4 ayes, 1 absent. And on item C, Mr. Benny, you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we don't approve it.
I need a motion so we can start. I need a second. I'll make a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
No, this is to approve C. To approve C.
Okay, I'm done.
Aye. 3 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 absent. You know, what it makes it, you know,
And you have a point, and I will agree with you for 100%. That we should be looking at multiple bids as well.
Okay, item 8, acknowledge quarterly report on Williams uniform complaint under Education Code 35181, or 186. Ms. Lacy?
We've had no claims filed. There's a report.
Need a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve 2021 school accountability report. Report one. That's it.
The school accountability report card is an item we have to do every year that gives information for all kinds of different things such as data of enrollment of students, teacher information, textbooks and adoptions, and all everything. Student groups, testing results. It basically is a report card of how our school sites are doing in all areas and it has to be posted on our district website by February 1st. Each year we need to bring this to you. This year there's some, with the most current piece that we were able to get as of Saturday, the original item I gave to you guys from each school site was missing some CDE information as it wasn't input until Saturday. So I wasn't able to provide that for you prior in the original board packet. But I know Mrs. Gaines reviewed that with you. The only piece that's missing currently is some information on teacher data. It's just one little section. And the CDE is not going to have that ready to put into the SARC until after it has to be posted on the website. So the CDE is asking for boards to approve without that information, and then you don't have to reapprove it once they have that in there, because it's just that one small section.
What section is this?
The one section that is missing is the teacher information on credentialing and things like that. It's just one smaller than what page is on. Oh, your page numbers are different than mine. Oh, no, it says in here. Did you put that up? I don't remember what page number that was towards the end. I could be wrong.
So all our teachers are.
Oh, yes, it. And this information is usually a year behind as well.
Right, this is all information from last year.
Yeah.
They haven't calculated this.
And they have not calculated and have the data. Oh, it's on page 4. It's the teacher preparation and placement page. And it talks about their assignments, teachers without credentials and missed assignments for the 2019-20 school year, credentialed teachers assigned out of the field, and then their class assignments. So it's a small portion of a whole bunch of data. And unfortunately, without the CDE input put in there from them, I can't really provide that data. The CDE is completely aware of it as it's their concern. They're the reason we don't have the information. And they just recommended that we go ahead and approve it without that piece. And then if you want, we can bring it back afterwards for you to reapprove, but they said we don't have to do that.
Is there gonna be a big surprise? That should be something we should be looking at before.
I can always bring it back to you. Well, we have to have it approved and posted on the website by February 1st.
It's actually.
And the whole state's gonna have this problem because they don't have it for anyone. It's not just us, it's the whole state.
Right now,
Just not the whole state.
Yeah.
Okay.
the state is so far behind on all their stuff. My licensing, was, I put it in for my personal, small license back in the end of September. I'm still waiting. And I called and said, no, you're approved. But I said, I need this stuff that I gotta have on the wall so I don't get cited. Well, we're getting them, we're working them.
Yeah, and typically this is not an issue. The information's always provided like at the beginning of January to December, at the end of December, but this year, due to all of the different things that are happening, CD is just a little bit behind.
My registration is October and I think yesterday.
Okay, I'll make a motion on that.
Okay, motion by Bender, second by Winslow.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
4 ayes, 1 absent. First contact review of reading only of 2001-2002 comprehensive school plan. Mr. Irving.
it's that time of the year again when we get to, bust out our reading glasses and go through, multiple plans for each of the sites. Sorry, your agenda was 600 something pages. This is the beginning of the annual process where by March 1st of each year, we need to have reviewed and have approved safety plans for each of the sites. I can already tell you that stuff is out of date in these regarding COVID because the day that we needed to get them to Sally so that she could tear down a forest, the CDPH released new guidance regarding COVID, so, it's updated as of January 4th, too bad it wasn't, updated as of January 12th, but, so, there will be revisions on those going forward to, include updated language there, but, is there anywhere else anybody had any questions or comments for, the sites so that we can get these addressed with, site admin and everybody else involved?
Okay. Anybody want a motion?
Make motion.
It's just,
I think it's a reading.
yeah, it's just reading, so it'll be back a couple more times.
Good. First reading of board policies, 2021, December 2021, and so the partial on the first reading. So it's all informational and policies are here. Anybody have any questions? Can you give us on action 2?
Well, on the first one, uniform complaint procedures, we selected option 1. This is, option 1 has been selected previously by the Board of Trustees when we last reviewed the UCP. What option 1 does is it basically states that Mrs. Hargis, as the associate superintendent, the one who receives all the uniform complaints, has the authority to investigate, and then her decision stands. The person who submitted the UCP does not get to appeal to the Board of Trustees. That was the choice of the board the last time. Thus, option 1 was selected. Option 2 would simply just say that the person who files the complaint, if they don't like what Mrs. Hargis advises after a thorough investigation, can then come to the board to try to change the result. So that's why we selected option 1, as previously that was the board's choice.
4217.
Yes, option 2 is the choice here because we do have an agreement that makes the HR department look at length of service and the hire date. That agreement is in place as part of the contractual language.
Approve the following list of personnel items. Does anybody have any questions?
This is where we made that one change for Mr. Mackey. Okay, move that we approve.
Second?
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
4 ayes, 4 absent.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Rick Swift.
Second.
I'll give this one more. All in favor?
Aye.
Time is
8:17.